This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. So in today's no kidding dummy segment of the news, a Utah State University, reading from this headline from a local Salt Lake City news outlet, Utah State University study, counties with high rate of Trump voters had higher COVID-19 infection rates. What? Shock. Who knew? Who could have predicted this? Now, obviously, I am not making light of or mocking them for doing this study, because just because you have a premonition about something, just because something seems to logically follow, doesn't mean that is the fact. It takes studies and research and compiling of data to find out whether something is the case. And they have found out that it is the case. A study based at Utah State University shows that counties with higher concentrations of voters for former President Donald Trump also had higher cases of COVID-19 per capita. The study from Western Rural Development Center, or WRDC, not only shows a connection between politics and COVID-19 cases per capita, it found that political views were the most important variable explaining per capita cases. Political views were also a predictor in deaths in rural counties, but other factors such as low levels of education and high levels of poverty were the best predictors of COVID-19 deaths. And this really is where the Republican Party not only does a disservice to the United States and the people at large and our global national community, but they do a disservice to people who are underserved with resources, people who are undereducated, underemployed, underpaid. They keep these people in a cycle of lack of education, lack of income, because of the fact that they feed them misinformation, disinformation, propaganda, dangerous. People like Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott, governors like Kristi Noem from South Dakota, politicians like the Ted Cruzes and the Marco Rubios, and every other ding-dong in the House who rail against vaccine mandates while watching their own electorates die. They watch their own constituencies wither and suffer under the weight of this pandemic. And they don't care, because it's about power, even if it comes at the expense of the least among us, the people most vulnerable. After 18 months, we are still struggling, Don Albrecht, executive director of the WRDC and author of the study, said. This article makes it clear that during a pandemic, political views have consequences. This past summer, failure to follow the advice of medical experts has resulted in a surge of people unnecessarily becoming ill, pushing hospitals and their staffs to their breaking point. Despite new medications that provide some relief for the severely ill, death still takes a daily toll in the United States, Albrecht said. Tuesday, the Utah Department of Health counted 13 more deaths in the state, bringing the total to 1,274. Several of the deaths were from Salt Lake County, the state's most populated health district, but there were also people killed from much less populated rural counties, including these list of counties in Utah. Associated Press reports COVID-19 deaths and cases in the United States have climbed back to levels not seen since last winter, wiping out months of progress and potentially bolstering President Joe Biden's argument for his sweeping new vaccination requirements. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy, is a vicious cycle. These people who cry, "Don't tread on me," while they fly their goofy flags, calling mask mandates and vaccine mandates oppression and tyranny. But the more that they push back, the more that they protest, the more that they refuse to not only take care of themselves, but take care of their neighbors and their family members, the more that they are recalcitrant in this manner, the more that mandates are needed. If they would just do the right thing, take care of their neighbors and their children, and their relatives and their friends and their family, we wouldn't be in this situation. I wouldn't be reading articles about studies from Utah State University that shows the data, these data, that Trump dummies are leading us into the abyss from a healthcare perspective. Going on 700,000 dead Americans. Preventable. It's abhorrent. I'd love to know what you think. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, especially if you dissent. I welcome the dissent. 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to connect with you on social media. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok even. I've even been putting up some YouTube shorts, whatever that is. And it's been a good time. Anyway, I would ask that you consider supporting my work here on the platform for as little as $2 a month. You can click the join button below the video. I don't know which side it's on, but we'll just point. And for as little as $2 a month, you can support my work, help produce my videos here, or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast and help support my work there. Anyway, I love you guys. I will see you next time. Take care of one another. Put a mask on. Get vaccinated if you're not already. Take care of one another.